Hey, this is a tribute video. I haven't made one of these in a while, mainly because in the last few months of last year I was very overwhelmed with working on all the videos I was doing before the year ended, and January, as I've said, I took the month off, and a lot of great entertainers have died in the past few months, and I wanted to do some tributes to them, but I really needed the month of January off. But a lot have died, and I just want to say a few things. And before I get into all the great people who have died this year, I'd like to mention two specific people from last year who I was, I guess, surprised by. And I'm not going to talk about every single actor, filmmaker, or entertainer who has died. Mainly the ones who I was most surprised to see go, and the ones who I connected to the most in the work of theirs that I saw. Last year on November 4th, 2015, Melissa Matheson died, and she was 65. For those who don't know who that is, she was the screenwriter for E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Martin Scorsese's Kundun, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that was on her IMDb page, and she also wrote The Indian in the Cupboard, which I saw when I was really young. I love E.T., it's a great movie. And for anyone who doesn't know, she used to be married to Harrison Ford. And Fred Dalton Thompson, who had died on November 1st last year, he was 73. He had a really big career, wide range of things. He was an actor, a lawyer, and a senator. And not sure I wasn't 100% on all of his politics, but pushing that aside, focusing just on his acting, he was a very good character actor. I don't think he ever did a leading role type, and if he did, I haven't seen it. But the movies I did see him in, I always thought he was great. He could be very lovable, and he could also be he could play a real bastard when the time called for it. The movies I saw him in that stick out the most to me are Die Hard 2 and In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood, Cape Fear, also by Martin Scorsese, and the show Law and Order. I used to really like that show along with a few of the other versions, and nowadays I don't care for it. It's a whole bunch of stuff I'm not going to get into. Like, it's hard for me to actually watch that show again and enjoy it. But that doesn't mean there aren't some things from Law and Order that I can... There are some things that I can think about from when I watched that, still enjoyed that show when I watched it, that I thought were really good, and one of them was Fred Dalton Thompson as the DA Arthur Branch from the year 2002, I believe, to 2007. Out of all the DAs on Law and Order, the original Law and Order, I thought Thompson was the best. And the people who have died this year, the first death that shocked me was Angus Scrimm, who horror fans will know as the Tall Man from the Phantasm franchise. He was really old, and it's not surprising that he died. He was 89. But it is shocking, like some people live to a really old age and you just can't imagine them dying. He was a legend and an icon in the genre. Even though he's dead, we still have one more thing to look forward to from him. Phantasm 5, which still not sure when that's going to be released, but when it is, we'll get one more ride with the Tall Man. And the very next day after Angus Scrimm died was... Scrimm died on January 9th this year. But the day after that, another death happened that affected, I believe, a lot more people, and this was really surprising. David Bowie. I'll be very honest, I haven't listened to a ton of David Bowie's music. I haven't seen Labyrinth or a lot of the movies that he did. Yes, I have not seen some movies. But I know that he was a legend, a living legend, and the songs I have listened to by him I thought were really great. And the most touching tributes I read after Bowie died were from the channel Awesome People and the other online reviewers I like. And I could feel the emotion through their texts, their tweets, and the stuff they put on their Facebooks, because when they did their movie Suburban Nights, Justin Carmichael, aka Juwario, he dressed up as David Bowie from Labyrinth, and I get the feeling that they all felt some kind of connection to that movie and to Bowie, and given that Justin Carmichael had died in 2014, I feel maybe it might have hit them a bit more than, say, the average fan. And on January 11th, David Margulies, I think that's how you pronounce it, David Margulies died. He was 78. And most people may not know who he is, but I know him as, a lot of people will know him, but majority of the population, I think, may not know who he is. He was the mayor in Ghostbusters, the one who Bill Murray said, "You will save the lives of millions of registered voters." He was another good character actor, and the death in the past few weeks that really just hit me across the face was when Alan Rickman died. Just like David Bowie, I had no idea that he was sick and that he was going through a battle with cancer. And David Bowie and Alan Rickman were both 69, and that part of it, their ages, got me a little, because both my grandparents are 69, and the age being similar to theirs makes you feel nervous, I think. It made me feel a little, makes you think about how much time is left. Alan Rickman, he was great. Die Hard, another Die Hard. He was great in the first movie as the main villain, his first role in a movie. And I love the Harry Potter movies. I love the books, the whole franchise. I really love it. Alan Rickman was awesome, and Galaxy Quest, great parody of fanboyism. And he was in Kevin Smith's Dogma, the best religious film I've ever seen. And Kevin Smith tweeted a tribute to him, saying how it hit him hard. To each person has their different tastes, and each person who liked these people, it all hit them hard, I believe. And the last two deaths that stick out to me are Glenn Frey, who I believe, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Eagles, so I don't know. I don't know exactly what part he played in the Eagles, but I do know that he sang the song "The Heat Is On" from the opening of Beverly Hills Cop, and Beverly Hills Cop was one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw back when I was 13. I got it on my 13th birthday, and it's an awesome song. The heat is on. Sorry if my singing voice isn't the greatest. 67. It is old, but it's not that old. And Abe Vigoda. This may sound odd, but when Abe Vigoda died, it reminded me of a funny scene from a movie he did. Not many people have seen Good Burger, the movie, but in that movie, Abe Vigoda plays an old-timer employee of the Good Burger restaurant, and he says at one point, "I should have died a long time ago." And that was in 1997. He lived to a good old age. '94. I wanted to do a tribute for all these people, but I didn't have the time, or I was just focused on other stuff. It's always sad when a great entertainer dies, and even though most of us, including me, may not know them personally, we feel some kind of a connection to them through their work. I don't know when I'll do another tribute, but so many people are dying these days, it's hard to keep track, and it's hard to properly pay respect to them. Especially when you got other stuff going on, and I just wanted to do this video to talk about how much I liked and respected these people. And I said to my mom back in the week when David Bowie and Alan Rickman died, seems like everybody's dying. Anyway, this is my tribute video, and just wanted to say a few nice things.